So we're here with Smith Brickner, baseball prospectus scout. Big prospect game today here in Baltimore. Orioles spring training facility, Sarasota. Nice breeze tonight. There was a lot of wind going towards left. A few balls died in right field. Good call by you.
Yeah.
Basillo blasted the ball that was an out. TJ Rumfield barely missed a home run, and then we saw the situation with Van cut when the wind played a few tricks in the inside the park homer, unfortunately, for LaGrange. But I thought LaGrange looked great. He was pumping strikes, 100 plus, 101 even. The secondary is looking better. So tell me more of what you think about LaGrange.
Yeah, the question for him has always been about command and fastball shape. He doesn't necessarily have the best shape, meaning he doesn't have the best rising or horizontal action on his fastball. It's a bit of a dead zone one. But when you throw 100, 100's 100, as we like to say. And on top of that, he also has a really good extension, which basically means he's releasing the ball closer to home plate. So that 100 is actually looking more like 102, 103 to the hitter. That's going to play. The biggest thing for him was that he was throwing more strikes after the first inning. That first inning, he got a bit razzled. You saw it at the beginning. He was really amped up. The adrenaline was going. The second, third, and fourth inning, he really began to settle in, and he was throwing strikes and getting ahead in counts. And if he's getting ahead in counts, we saw a new sweeper that was incorporated over the offseason that really was a difference maker for him. Also shown a bit of a changeup, too. So he's becoming more of a starting pitching prospect than what we last saw last year. That's a positive sign.
Yeah, and I also think I was cool to see him pitch. I never saw him pitch before today, and it was good to see him go forward. He was the bulk guy today. Last year was Selvage, like we were saying before the trip. But I also thought Jesus Rodriguez was really impressive. He's playing all over the time. He made a good play at third base, had a few hits, a few RBIs. He's swinging a good bat at the complex too. So where do you feel his positional value is? Where do you think he ultimately ends up playing?
It's funny because he played a really good third base today.
Yeah, he sure did.
I was pleasantly surprised. I really had him graded more as a catcher. But he showed some good agility. He showed a pretty good arm, which isn't surprising for a catcher.
Right.
But what's impressive about him is that he was very much a opposite field hitter for much of his early career. He's slowly becoming more of a pull side guy, but not so much where he's predictable and he's easily shiftable. He's becoming more of a horizontal spray kind of guy. It's going all over the place. So I saw a very impressive collection of tools today. The up arrow is definitely next to his name.
I know you were really into Hess and Cunningham as well, and Reiselman also pitched decently, and he's a guy who could be in the MLB radar as early as this year, I think. But let's go more towards the draft guys now. What did you see from them today? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, it's interesting. Hess didn't pitch after he got drafted, but what I saw before the draft and today was a little bit more athleticism on the mound. He probably got in the weight room and did some working out there, which really helped him to become more athletic. And what that ended up happening is his lower half is more involved now, meaning that he's getting down on the mound more, getting more down and creating a more consistent release point between all of his pitches. Now, I will say his fastball has some pretty good rising action. Those are the mid-90s. It's comfortably an above-average pitch, maybe even plus. The rest of the arsenal is a bit of a question mark for me. I think he throws his secondaries a little too slow right now. That's going to be his big thing. I think it's also going to be about making sure that the arm speed is the same across his secondaries. That's also a bit of a question mark right now. The guy who really stood out to me, even though he blew the game in the ninth inning, was Bryce Cunningham.
Yeah, that's tough secondary today. The results don't really matter.
It doesn't matter because what you're gonna see in the box score doesn't really line up with what I saw.
Yeah, that's more important.
Exactly. Like the ones that he got beat on, he really got beat on a double down the right field line in the ninth inning by a guy O'Hearn who really pulled up on an inner third 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Good pitch.
Yeah,
a very good pitch. And again, Cunningham's one of those guys similar to LaGrange where he gets amazing extension, more than 7 feet, which is well above league average in the major leagues. So his 98 is looking more like 100 out there. He was throwing really, really good. O'Hearn just happened to turn on that inside heat very impressively. The one pitch he made a mistake on was that last pitch of the game, a changeup, kind of down but over the plate. And it was almost caught. It was not particularly well hit. It was probably a 85-ish mile an hour.
Seeing eye single a little bit.
Wasn't very impressive. So a lot of dinks and dunks. One well hit ball off of him, but talking about a plus fastball with good ride, Really great extension. Again, the 98 looks like 100.
This is stuff we need to know. It's important.
And he's got a gyro slider that looked really good. And he also seemed to be incorporating a bit of a cutter as well in the 93 to 94 range, which is a really good in-betweener between his fastball and his slider. The changeup also looked good. But the big thing for me was he needed more consistent gyro slider shape. It looks like he got that in the Yankees lab over the offseason.
Yeah, so we'll go with the two big guys to end it here. How about George Lombard had a single today, infield single off the second baseman's glove. He's looking good this spring. He's made a bunch of changes. I know you've noticed some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what do you feel like the ceiling is for Lombard?
You know, I was a little skeptical after last year. I thought the contact rates were underwhelming, but he does look like he's undergone a bit of a swing change, and he has more bat speed than what he did last year. And so if he's able to turn on pitches on the inner third, which is really what was his kryptonite last year, that's a big change for him. He's always had the defensive ability, specifically the arm to play at shortstop. So if he shows a little bit more feel for contact to go alongside above average raw power and that plus defense at shortstop, that's a game changer for him. And I think there's a case that he might be a better prospect than Jason Dominguez and my guy, Spencer Jones, right now.
We'll see how he looks. We got a little bit to determine that. Spencer got hit twice today, so I was aggravated. We didn't get to see it as much as we really wanted to with that. But I don't really know what to take from Spencer today.
Yeah, you know, the thing about Spencer, it's hard to take away anything really from this game. Obviously, he's undergone a pretty significant swing change over the course of the offseason. He's also been a full-time hitter for just a few years now. He was a pitcher in high school and at Vanderbilt, and that's actually what he was primarily recruited for. So now that he's becoming a full-time hitter, we're beginning to see him make adjustments to his swing and to his approach to the plate. His biggest kryptonite last year was off-speed going down out of the zone. He's actually pretty good against pitchers going east and west. He has the ability to turn on pitches on the inner part of the plate as well. He did struggle a little bit with fastballs up in the zone as well last year, but, you know, again, it's hard to really tell much from this game. I would say look at his spring training sample size in the major leagues. He still has some of those issues, but he's hitting with more authority, hitting the ball in the air. But he's already got that plus speed. He's already got good defense in center field. So if he just makes another grade more of contact on the 20/80 scale, he'll be a star.
Exactly, and I still think there should be a lot of hope. Last thing with him, like, do you think he should go back to Somerset? Or do you think he should go to AAA?
No, get him in AAA. Let him fail if he has to. Let him fail if he has to.
You know, he's been in Somerset for a while. I can't really say I disagree. It might be time to just bring him to AAA.
Let him struggle a little bit. I'd rather a guy have to overcome adversity. And there is something to that in player development.
And as weird as it sounds, I feel like hitting is almost easier in AAA now with the way they've been doing the automated strike zone. Like, the AA hitting's a little bit tough sometimes. The Eastern League's difficult.
I don't hate that take. I might still prefer AA, but I understand where you're going.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll catch everyone soon. Good stuff, Smith.